So when you're dealing with a pandemic virus, you have to starve it of its host.
I'm happy to have Representative Dr. Jasmine Clark here talking with me today, and we're talking about Georgia's response to COVID. So, how is that going right now?
Well, I think that Georgia's response, if you look at the numbers and you look at where we are right now, we could definitely be doing better. I am a state representative. I represent House District 108, which is in Gwinnett County, in the Lilburn area, and I have been trying to very closely follow, the governor's response to this pandemic and the way that each individual location, especially at the school level, responds to the pandemic. And so it's been a very interesting journey. We're almost on a year from the first case that was reported, or we're almost on a year of when we shut down everything and, everyone went home and, everything changed and everything turned upside down. And I feel a little concerned that we are not better off than we should have been if certain things had happened in this last year.
What certain things are you talking about?
So number one, when it comes to when it comes to a pandemic virus. So just for a little bit of background, yes, I am a state representative, but I also have a PhD in microbiology, and my focus is on viruses. Now, my virus was a retrovirus, but in general, I'm pretty knowledgeable on how viruses work and how viruses use the human body to both make more of itself and then spread to other humans, because that's what it needs to do to survive. And so when you're dealing with a pandemic virus, one of the things that you absolutely have to do is you have to starve it of its host, and humans are the host. And so there are several things that we could have done differently that could have done better at starving it of its host. And I don't know if you remember a year ago, the buzzwords were flatten the curve. We flattened it a bit, and then we did not do what we needed to do to actually get the curve to go in a downward trajectory. So number one, when this first happened, everything shut down. I know everyone remembers the shutdowns. It was a very big deal, especially in the business community, and having several business owners and small business owners in my district, I understand just how hard or devastating that was in the beginning. However, we took steps to make sure that our business community could stay afloat. So the federal government jumped in and immediately gave them basically forgivable loans, PPP loans and things like that, access to those things so that they could stay afloat. As well, our Department of Labor in the very beginning actually was kind of ahead of the game than some other states, and really, bumped up their operations when it came to unemployment. But when it came to that, that wasn't enough. And so what happened was we were going up. The number of cases were rising rapidly. Our governor and governors all across the country got information that they needed to do something. And so we shut down. But very shortly after shutting down, we started to see a plateau in the number of new cases. No sooner than we started to see a plateau, we opened everything back up again. That was the most ill-conceived, not thought out, counterproductive plan that we could have ever done. From that point on, the cases in the summer skyrocketed. We had several holidays, everything's open, we're starting to open up new things, people are interacting more. We have no longer starved this virus of its host. People are interacting with each other. And while our governor encouraged mask use, and he even went on this fancy mask tour in his private jet across the state, he did not mandate mask use across the state. We have data that shows that places that mandated mask use handled this virus much better. They had much fewer cases, per capita, and they have data from before the mask mandate and after the mask mandate. Instead of spending the amount of money it takes to fuel a private jet to fly around the state, all he needed was the power of his pen to mandate masks, and that would have gone a very long way. Now, we know a lot more about masks than we did, a little while ago. We know some are better than others. We know we also now have access to masks that for a while there was a shortage. People have learned how to make their own masks. They learned how to, we've gotten very good about masks, but we still have certain people in our community that absolutely refuse to wear masks. And even in the Capitol, we have people that refuse to wear masks. And even though we are all, there are 450 people between the legislators, the staff, and everyone else that works in that building, all of us are interacting with each other, and it only takes one person to spread that virus throughout the building and cause a mass outbreak, which will stop us from being able to do the people's work. So, the mask thing became very political, and unfortunately, because of that, our governor would not do one of the simplest things that we could have done to mitigate, and then take that decision and then look at what the school board, the Department of Education, and school boards are doing. Even they wouldn't mandate masks. And so we have this situation where one of the cheapest and easiest ways to prevent the spread of the virus became something that was divided along party lines.